Thank you so much, Anubhav, for giving me the time. We can start. I know you'll be
Thank you for
busy.
having me.
Oh, absolutely, my pleasure. I just watched Assi again yesterday. I got a little
Yeah,
late to sleep, so I just woke up, and yeah, so we can start then. Yeah.
lovely to hear the word again.
Okay. So, hello all, welcome to Off the Cuff. And I have a filmmaker I admire for the kind of movies he's given us. A filmmaker who survived in Hindi film industry on his own terms, I'll say. A man who's given us from Tumbin to the recently released Assi on Z5. I particularly watched the movie in the theater because I feel movies like any movie needs to be seen on a silver screen to get the impact of what the filmmaker and the entire cast is trying to tell you. And um, all I can say is that Anubhav, welcome to my show.
Thank you, Namrita.
So, I know you've had a long, long career in films. It's been arduous at times, but very rewarding. As an audience, I can say that. You've seen the industry and the audience change also. And after Ravan, you took a brief pause, and then you made some very hard-hitting socio-political, uh, movies like Mulk, then Article 15, um, Assi now. So, what changed the trajectory of your career, briefly?
So there is a fun response to it, and that is that
Oh,
I made my first film in the year 2000,
yeah,
and I made Mulk in 2018. So I just
yeah.
turned adult, and then I started making adult films. But I don't have an answer to the sincere answer to your question. I
Oh,
don't know. I just got post Ravan. I just got pursued by the story of Mulk,
mm,
and it just wouldn't let go of me.
yeah.
And honestly, at the time, I wasn't thinking and realizing that I was actually making a massive shift. Now, in hindsight, it looks like dramatic, but at the time, it didn't feel like that. At the time,
Mm,
also, it was difficult to put that film together for various reasons because post Ravan, I had lost credibility, uh, and there were not many films who were happy to make a film with me. And
mm,
I was trying to do this impossible against the stream film. But as luck would have it, as universe would have it, I got to make it. And then it changed my entire life.
mm. Very true, and Mulk was a very redefining moment, I'll say, as the audience and as Anubhav Sinha, viewers, I'll say, because we started comparing these movies to Thus You'd Made, and then Ravan, and then, earlier films too. But coming to Assi now, it was labeled as an urgent watch, a film that confronted you, not comforted you. Like I said, I watched it in theater and then I watched it yesterday, and it was just leaves you a little uncomfortable. So the intention of the movie is very clear, what you were trying to show and why you were trying to show the systemic failure in certain ways, when it comes to rape victims in India and the entire her family around her. So while making or in the process of writing also, because you co-wrote, what were the do's and don'ts of making a film on rape?
We, I don't think there were any do's and don'ts, but there's one thing that Gaurav and I
Mm,
repeatedly spoke of and made sure we stuck to is the fact that this film was not about the survivor. This film
mm,
was about the act itself. and where it comes from and what it leaves behind. So we were not trying to build any heroes or tragic heroes. Uh,
Hmm.
it could easily have been a film about a survivor's fight to find punishment for the perpetrators.
Hmm.
That we did not want to offer any catharsis to you. We wanted you to leave with a sense of unfinished business,
Hmm.
which we thought will provoke each and every viewer to think, is there something I can do? Because the film tries to put the audience in the dogs, and
Hmm.
that was the endeavor. And I hear quite often that it was achieved.
Absolutely, it was. And it questions you. It's a thought-provoking movie, and you have, thousands of questions. So, uh, violence against women has been normalized. I won't say just in India, but in many, many countries, and most of the time, even here in South Asian, Indian community here or back in India, the victims are questioned and labeled. And the films that have showed rape, from earlier onwards are also to sometimes just put there to titillate the audience. So, do you think that movies can change mindsets, especially like Assi? Because I feel audience who go to see movies like Assi go with the vulnerability of their own. They don't want entertainment from maybe that's what I feel. We go there to see something which with a vulnerable and heart and with a intention to maybe get really moved by that movie. So do you think there are different audience for different movies, and movies can change mindsets in some ways, not entirely I'll say, but some ways.
I look at movies like the audience and movies relationship like people and cuisines.
Oh.
Some days you are very interested in some very spicy food,
Oh.
and some days you want to have really bland food. Some days you want to have health food. So it's not so that a particular individual will watch only one kind of film. People have various moods. The same is the case with films, and uh, it's been proved time and again that
Hmm.
there have been various eras where all kinds of filmmakers have thrived within the same 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and they
Hmm.
would range from Govind Nihalani to Manmohan Desai.
Yes.
So the audience is open to watching a whole all kind, and they're also very experimental with the way they would experiment with cuisine. They experiment with movies also, but it should end of the day give them a satisfying experience,
Hmm.
and they should feel that something new happened. So no, I don't think there are different kinds of audience for different kinds of films. Yes, I agree that uh, there is a certain kind of people who will not go watch the potpourri, and there are certain kinds who will not go watch Assi.
Hmm.
But that's a very slim minority, according to me. The second half of your question, do you think films like these can change the minds and hearts of people? The filmmakers will be delighted if they do. But I think that's a very far out thought. Even if, even if it can stoke an internal conversation inside an individual, it should be a very satisfying feeling for the filmmaker.
Very true. It's definitely stoking a lot of conversations. Your all your recent films have, especially Thappad for, you know, especially around domestic abuse and violence against women. Thappad was a very, again, I loved that movie, about microaggressions against women because it could be, again, normalized. So now talking about the scene, the scene, the very difficult scene uh, of the act, like you're saying. You said it was about uh, और जो मैंने देखा, स्पेशली द काउंटिंग जस्ट मेड इट इवन हार्डर, जो वो आपने डाली थी. And the song that was playing, I think it was my नी,
माई
the
मेरी माई
entire thing.
तेरी याद.
Yeah, so उसके बारे में बताइए, like how did you manage, and what went on in your mind as a director as to, okay, this is
It
the
started with writing. The idea of that counting, the gamification of such a
yes.
brutal, heinous crime
Hmm.
is actually probably what disturbs people. I mean, even at
Yes.
the CBFC, when they finished watching the film and they called me inside,
Hmm.
they said, Anubhav, please remove that counting. And I'm not saying this for the certificate,
Hmm.
but remove that counting. I said, no, I will not remove the counting. And because I wanted the experience to have a lasting impact for the audience. And this is the most gruesome act a human can commit, and beyond murder, because in this you actually murder the soul.
Yes.
You remember that dialogue in the court when she says, I look at the mirror
Hmm.
and everything has changed, but I look the same.
Very true.
And
Hmm.
that is what happens to a woman. She becomes someone else. So it is that heinous an act. So I did not want to allow you to close your eyes. Even if you closed your eyes watching that act, the counting will haunt you. And you'll be surprised. I did like 6, 7, 8 screenings. And when people came out, they were like frozen. And they said, Anubhav, the rape is brutal.
Hmm.
So I asked each one of them, and they all said, yes, it's brutal. Men of all sizes. I remember the face of a 6 foot 3 inch tall man,
Hmm.
28, 30, burly big man. And he
Hmm.
was sullen. And I said, and what do you think? He said, sir, that rape is too brutal. And then I asked them all, I said, should I reduce it? And pretty much in unison, I heard a no. Especially women said, no, don't reduce it.
Hmm.
The most disturbed face that I saw was of Seema Bhargav, who was very,
Yeah.
very disturbed. And she was the loudest to say, don't reduce it. So I actually put the song on it to,
Yeah.
to slightly reduce the impact. But I'm told by women that the song actually
Made it.
increases it. Yeah.
Hmm. Uh,
But
I
good,
know.
you know,
Hmm.
you should, you should, you read about it and you go past it. You are
Hmm.
guilty of doing that. So you should live through it once so that you don't ever go past it comfortably.
Very true. And we, like you say, these incidents, especially the 20-minute sign, the red screen, which,
Yeah.
told the viewers every 20-minute a rape is happening, is also, it just you know catches your attention and leaves you numb a little, क्योंकि you are aware कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या चल रहा है. And you're one filmmaker, who's looked at patriarchy in a very different way. You've showed it uh, in ways that no other filmmaker has. And even in this movie, you've had those scenes where the father is talking to his son about, you know,
Chole Bhature.
sexual. Yes, yes. I think the Chola Bhatura wala scene. It was very subtle, but the message was there. So, you know, we can't blame cinema for the toxic masculinity, but as a parent or as a man, uh, what do you think in today's culture, कहाँ भूल हो रही है हमारे, you know? as a community, if rape is happening every 20 minutes, especially for men, and masculine toxicity, which has been shown, everywhere now.
Also, women,
Also women,
the
okay.
training,
Hmm.
I'll tell you, I don't know if I should, but no, you should hear it.
Hmm.
A man from the street,
Hmm.
I was talking to him in Bihar,
Hmm.
and he said, Anubhav sir, do you
Hmm.
realize this crime is committed through the weakest muscle in a man's body? If a woman grabs that muscle and squeezes it, he will fall at her feet asking for mercy. But she's not trained to do that. She's trained to feel guilty and shameful about it. Why can't, why don't we train our girls to be aggressive about even an appropriate touch?
Hmm.
You know, the girls that travel in Delhi buses and a whole lot of buses in India, they are touched from all over all the time. And what they are taught is to move away from there. What if she just turns around and he said, yes, what are you trying to do, sir? And then she will have help. But she believes that as if she has committed the crime. So she should be ashamed of it, that somebody touched my body inappropriately. This is how we bring up our girls. And boys, of course, they can get away with murder. So, yeah, I truly believe that we need to start talking to our boys and our girls at 13.
Hmm.
And if you speak to them for 5 years and if you sensitize them for 5 years, uh, they will not be rapists when they are 18, and the girl will not be taking that from anybody when she's 18.
Hmm. Yes, I think it's a slow process, and I've grown up in India. I come from a small town, Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. Been here in California for 35 years, but वो mentality रहती है, you carry a lot of your traditions and baggage, the way you think here. We are in 2026, but I hope the next generation is better than what we were, and how we
Yeah,
responded
it's
to
not going to be
situations.
a wave from Mars that will change things.
Yes.
It's for us to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, I think, small sentences and small things that you come out of your mouth,
Yeah,
uh,
you can't say that. You
as a
have to.
parent. Yeah.
The
And
boys are
so,
raised most inappropriately. They are
mm,
allowed everything, the kind of jokes they are sharing, the kind of conversations they're having, kind of abuses. I'm from Banaras, so I used to be very abusive. But while
okay.
making this film, I realized that most of the abuses were about women, my sisters and mothers. So, and I control it now. I'm better.
Mm,
So as much as you praise me for my anti-patriarchy films, I still suffer from it, and I'm still fighting it on a daily basis. It's that deep rooted.
mm, but no, thank you, Anubhav. And you are aware of it. You are aware of yourself as a man, and what you should not do and do is more than what a lot of men do. They do not even question it. But thank you for giving us films like these. And one more part that was very, I think, wonderful about this movie was, which I've not seen in any other, or I don't remember, is about putting the children in the middle of this movie, especially the last
Courtrooms.
courtroom scene where there are little girls and boys in the courtroom, and especially the boy, the survivors. A son is there looking at what's going on around him, trying to question it or trying to make sense out of it. So a little bit about that. If what made you put the kid
I
in there?
was, in as many ways as possible, I was saying, let's talk to our kids. They
Okay,
they
okay.
must help us because we have failed. as a
Hmm.
generation.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what he questions, like घर तक तो बात पहुंचेगी. So why not, take the child in the hospital, in the courtroom, uh, you know. And obviously now, talking about Assi, and then your first film, Tum Bin, it again is one of my favorite movies. I don't know what time ho gaya. And the music was just a cult. Even now, the, music is so good. So what do you think of music, and how do you approach music for your films? Even uh, Article 15 had a lovely song, वैसे end में था या कुछ, I remember, but there's always great music also in your film, which is a little bit about how music helps your films.
I don't know my
Hmm.
process of films. My
Okay.
composers tell me that I have a knack for choosing very good songs. Now, this is something that I can't decipher. I
Okay.
don't know where that comes from. They say you pick the right songs, and I don't know what that means. So I am trying to continue to pick the songs that really appeal to my heart.
Hmm.
Uh, Now I'm thinking one decision has been made. I don't know which is my next film, but I one decision is made that my films will have music again, like
Okay.
as a part of the telling.
Hmm. Hmm. Looking forward to
I
it because
miss
I think,
making music.
yeah, you just said that you're from a small town, and uh, you made movies like Thappad, and uh, so it's a personal question. Any strong women in your family or around you that you look up to, and inspire you in certain ways?
Actually, most of my this part of my personality comes from my father and my mother.
Oh,
I
okay.
My father is 93 now,
Oh.
and I lost my mother though. But I've never
Mm,
seen in my whole life my father ever misbehave with her. Forget any physical abuse, not even misbehavior. And the way my mother conducted herself. So
mm,
there was this healthy atmosphere at home,
mm,
which I thought was normal. And what I saw in my neighborhood and in other homes, I thought that was an aberration. But as I
oh.
grew up, I realized that no, what I had at home was an aberration.
Mhm.
But a whole lot of it comes from my father and my mother.
Oh, okay. So I think she's giving me a call. In the end, Anubhav, what's coming next? And we'll go.
I'm not, I have no idea what
You've
I'm,
not.
I haven't thought about it. And I'm not that
Okay.
guy who keeps secrets. It's just that I don't know. I've been working past 7 months relentlessly. So
Hmm.
I need to just get out of this mad energy and just calm down a bit and ask myself what next.
Mm. Whenever you're ready, we will be ready to watch, your next film.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you
so
so
sweet
much,
of you.
Anubhav. It was a pleasure talking to you, and
Thank you. Thank you so
looking
much,
forward
Namrita.
to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.